Today we've got something unusual happening in the workshop. Hello everyone, Colin Cadet here for WoodWorkWeb. Today we have a chair with a broken rung, and if you're a woodworker, you're going to be asked sometime, somewhere, to fix either chair legs or rungs or something, because that's just what happens. Chair legs get loose and broken, and rungs get loose and broken, and you will get asked to repair them. So today I'm going to cover off one way of repairing a chair rung. So here is the offending member, and it's supposed to go in on this side, and the other part is supposed to go in right here where my finger is. And of course you can see that it's broken, and there's the other part right there. Now, chair rungs are thick in the middle and narrow on the sides, and the reason they're always a little bit thicker in the middle is because if you have a bar that's straight, a rung that's straight across, if you put any pressure in this area, it'll snap in the middle. So they make them thicker in the middle than they are at each end. Now what we're going to do for our repair on this one is to take this part here, cut this off, and drill down as far as we can and put in a stub in here so that we can bridge this across. There's our end, and at least we're starting off with a nice clean break, and next we need to start drilling. Now the last thing in the world that you want to start doing is getting a drill and your drill bit and start trying to drill in the end like that. And I'll tell you why. Is you can't get a good angle on it. It's hard to tell whether you're going straight or not. The second thing is, a lot of time the reason this broke is because the grain of the wood is running one way or another, and you don't know, and there's a good chance you're going to run through and jab yourself with the end of the drill bit. So put it in a vise and do it right, and here's what it looks like. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to wrap. I use this anti-skid stuff. You've seen me using this before. I'm going to wrap the leg in this, so not only does it grip it really well, but it gives me a place to give a good bite to it. So to start off with, I'm just making a hole, and I'm just eyeballing it, and that looks just about, there we go, there, that looks just to be about right in the center. Now I'm going to start drilling a pilot hole, and I don't want to go too deep because I don't want the drill bit to go off track. Now, it may look like it's at a bit of an angle to you in the camera, but I have this as straight up and down as I can get it. Now, the drilling with the spiral bit was a bit too hard drilling into end grain, so I've switched to a forstner bit to see if that's going to work a little bit better for us. So it looks like we're that far down. We're in a good range, so that's good. Okay, with a little bit of sanding, we've got that so that slides all the way in. It's a little snug at the end, but that's perfect. Now all we need to do is put some glue on the inside and glue on this, and we're done. We just need to wait for the glue to set and then cut it to size. Now for the glue, you could use something like an expanding glue, like a Gorilla Glue. I'm actually going to use something a little bit different. It's a more recent glue that I purchased, and I'm going to see how it works. It's not an expanding glue, it's more just like a wood glue, but apparently it's a very good glue, so we'll try it and see how it works. I'm just going to use something called Well Bond. It's something that I picked up recently after the video that we did on glues. I did a bit more research on glues, and I wanted to try this one. There. Now that's all we need to do. No clamps. Don't need to do anything on that. We'll just let that dry, and we'll come back and finish up that rung. Well, we've let our doweling glue dry in there, and it's super strong in there, so that's good. The next thing I need to do, of course, is to cut it off at the right length. And I've just used some dividers, and I put the dividers at the end. I just put them to the end of the hole, and where that is, I just drew some tape on each side, and with that, now I can just measure across and see that that's a little more than 13 inches. So I'm going to go just off camera. I'm just going to cut this off at 13 inches. Now all I need to do is put a bit of glue in each one of the holes that we have. I'm going to make sure I get a really good coverage in there. Okay, we finally struggled and got that in. Now there's still a little bit of work after this dries. There's still a little bit of work to do in here, and a little bit of matching, color matching and so on, and we'll finish that up after this dries. Well, the rung's nicely glued in there, and now there's a little bit of a lip where we had to drill a hole, so I'm just going to take a few minutes to sand that down, and when we come back, we'll get that blended down to the dowel, and then we'll do some final dyeing on this, and we should be all done. I'm not sure how this dye is going to work on here, but well, that completes our chair rung repair. We don't do many of these kinds of videos, but if there's something that comes along that looks like it's important, and I thought this one was, we like to do it. So, if you look at this, it's probably stronger than it was new. If you look real close, you can tell that there's a repair job that's been done to it. And ideally, if you have a lathe, you would just take this and replicate this whole thing. That would be pretty easy to do, and then you could make like a perfect job. But this wasn't an antique piece, so we just wanted to make something that we could show you how to repair this kind of a thing, even if you don't have a lathe. So that was the whole purpose of this video. I'm Colin Cadet for WoodWorkWeb. Don't forget, if you haven't already, we ask you to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and stay tuned because we've got lots of great videos coming your way.